I was just having a stream of consciousness, and I think I'll go with it for a moment, which is my resistance to going live, my resistance to it's right now it's 9:15 a.m. on the Pacific coast, and I'm like in an inward space. And as I've journeyed on my spiritual development, my inner space has gotten more and more sacred. Those who know me, maybe just Jen on this call, those who know me from maybe 5 to 10 years ago, everything that I thought was public went on Facebook. I would have streams of consciousness and I'd just be putting it out there and putting myself out there and putting myself out there. And it wasn't until I had a conversation with someone this week where she was just telling everybody all of her inner world. And I'm like, why are you sharing that? And she's like, well, it's honesty. And I'm like, well, there's a difference between being honest and full disclosure. And so I started to contemplate these things like honesty, being truthful is one of my highest values. It's my gift, right? Anybody who's done trauma work with me has been like, right? Like right there. So honesty and being truthful and authentic is something I care so much about. And I used to do it with so much disclosure, so much telling everybody that my inner everythings. And then I would feel vulnerable and I'd feel like I was under psychic attack or people were judging me. This is 10, 15 years ago. So what I learned during that period of my life when I was really out there, I was teaching like 50 to 75 yoga students a week. And I was just so out there. But as I went deeper into my spiritual development, my need to put everything out there started to shift. And I started to see the discernment between being authentic and not having to fully disclose or explain myself to anyone. And this was a shift. And I don't know when it happened. I think what I realized was not everybody had the consciousness to digest what I was going to share from the consciousness from which it was being shared. Does that make sense? It's kind of like knowing your audience, but what I was contemplating within myself would often get deduced into duality and judged and opinions and all this kinds of stuff. And I was like, that doesn't feel good anymore. To invite everybody into my inner world so that the place from which they're digesting their life would be how they're chewing on my life, because I was essentially letting them into my energy field. Like, here, come into my very porous and open energy field, then feed away. Come get intertangled into my field was essentially what I was doing. I was inadvertently inviting them in to my energetic space. And I was at an ashram studying Ayurveda during my Ayurvedic certification. And I watched the Swami, the Sadhguru, place a piece of fabric on the chair before she sat on the chair. And I thought, wow, talk about being mindful of what energy you take on. She won't sit on a chair without a divinely blessed fabric between her and the chair. Like, I was like, imagine how much consciousness about your energy and your energy field one must have. Do you see the correlation? Like, so I can express myself and then invite people into my field, into my thoughts and my emotions and my consciousness, because I'm oversharing and inviting them in to digest my thoughts for me. People do this all the time if they don't have a strong whale chakra. They'll share, and then people will comment, digest, and give their projections and their thoughts. And next thing you know, you're losing sovereignty energetically because you're not digesting and discerning within yourself. You're inviting other people to digest your thoughts, your emotions for you. Does this make sense? So how are we opening up our energy field inadvertently? What are we exposing ourselves to? Dr. Frawley, who's this really great modern Ayurvedic doctor, under the lineage that I studied, and he talks about protecting the senses. What are you smelling? What are you eating? What are you energetically available to? Who are you spending time around? Think about all of your senses and what you expose are you watching CNN, Fox News? How does that feel on your energy field? And so people bury their head in the sand and they don't pay attention to the news because it doesn't feel good. Well, we can maybe find the modality, like reading the headlines might be the way to do it rather than it being accosted by the energy. Or foods. Like when you eat so much sugar, you're craving so much sweet, but you detox from sugar. And then all of a sudden, the smallest sweetness is like so loud in your system. So it's cleansing the senses. Do you have sound on all the time, 24 hours a day bombarding you? Or do you need a tremendous amount of silence where you are in your path? So protecting our senses, protecting our energy field is so absolutely critical in this path, because the higher we go in this path, the further we go, the more sensitive we're going to be, and the more accosted we're going to feel by other people's thoughts and energies and entities in their field, and where we're exposing ourselves. And what happens is that we start to hide and isolate because people don't feel good. But I don't believe that that's the ultimate expression. That's a phase, the hiding and the protecting ourselves. I mean, we have to find the communities where we feel nice and juicy and like everybody's cleaning out their energy field, so you don't feel like you're in field management the whole time. But then ideally, we get our field nice and solid that we can be around anyone consciously or any energy consciously in maybe small bits of time, so that we can come in and out of their energy and know who we are. Because as empaths, we get lost in other people's thoughts, emotions, energies. And then we think we're being violated. What started this today is there was someone who posted that she went for a massage and she felt violated during the massage, but nothing happened during the massage. Like the person didn't do anything to violate her. Well, immediately I hear that and I'm like, well, she was feeling the thoughts and the energies in that person's field, and their field was meshed with her field, and they were all up in her junk, right? And she didn't know what was happening because she was sensing the non-physical and couldn't name it, and wasn't using the violet flame to protect her energy field when she just invited the stranger onto her body. Right? So if their field is not clear and your field is porous and not protected, then you're going to be tapping into all of the crazy that's in someone else's field. That's just spirituality 101, energetics 101. Who are we letting into our field? Who are we sleeping with? Who are we letting digest our emotions and our thoughts by vomiting our life story onto them? Who are we allowing to influence what we think about ourselves, what we feel about ourselves, how we feel in our own space? If we have a roommate who is really out of alignment with themselves, and then we feel uncomfortable around that roommate, what are we doing to ground ourselves and to tease out what's mine and what's theirs? Because if we can't tease out, is that my energy? Like, do I smell? Is this me or is this them? Like literally think of it in terms of that. Like, is that me or is that them? That's really what it's like energetically. Is this my energy that's wonky, or is it theirs? And if it's theirs, how do I seal up my field so I'm not taking on their bullshit that's going through their thoughts and their energies and their field? It's just spiritual hygiene. Now people will say, well, I meditated 3 days ago. I'm connected to source. Well, if you have to shower every day, then you need to clean your energy field every day. You need to fortify your thoughts every day. You need to seal up and get sovereign every day. It's not a one and done thing. If you're an empath and you're feeling stuff and you feel rattled, then that's just the cue to go in deeper into the heart, to seal off your field, to violet flame whatever's living in there, to call in your people, your ascended master, your angels, your divine beings. Hey, I need some help here. I'm having a hygiene issue. So spiritual hygiene is critical. And everything that we do is either sealing up and creating sovereignty and discernment or opening ourselves up. So when we're looking for someone else to validate us or make us safe or to connect with us so we can feel loved or to feel worthy or to feel seen and feel loved, whatever it is, I didn't get compassion from them. Whatever it is that we're looking to outside of ourselves is opening ourselves up. We're not self-sustaining anymore. We're not sustained by that vertical line of connection to the earth, connection to the divine, connection to our heart. That is our sustaining, is our vertical line, our connection to the space above, below, and within the heart. Anytime we go vertical, no, horizontal, anytime we go horizontal, we're inviting in that which we probably don't want. We're all doing this. Yesterday, my daughter was mad at me. She was mad at me. And I was like, is she still mad at me? Should I call her? What do I do? Da-da-da, da-da-da. Like, I was giving away my power and my energy field to the worry about what she felt about me because I wasn't willing to stand up and know who I am and go into my heart and radiate that out. I was taking energy outward in. And I needed to get into my sacred heart and reverberate energy out. Does that make sense? That's what I mean by that horizontal. I was like, what does she think of me? Does she love me? Is she mad at me? You know, and that was setting my vibration. So I have certain practices that I go to when I realize, oh, I don't have my sovereignty. I don't have my field anymore. I just gave away my power to a 19-year-old who bases, things on a totally different set of whatever. And then I'm letting my vibration be dependent on her mood. We do this all the time. This is what I mean by letting the horizontal decide how I feel. So what does she have? She's mad, she's stressed, she's upset with herself, so she's upset with me by default. So I can let my vibration be determined by where her wobbly vibration is. Totally. We all do this all the time. But if I want good energetic hygiene, I need to reconnect. And all of our inner alignment practices, just choose one of them. That's how we reconnect, going into our own spiritual connection. Sometimes we need to use upper dimensional tools. Other times we need to use lower dimensional tools, feel and process practice to get into that feeling of unloved and abandoned. Destination vibration to connect in with vibration of what I want with my daughters. Violet flame to transmute the lineage karma of female blah blah. So there are different tools that we can use, but the work is to go in and notice I lost my vibration because of what I was picking up from her energetically. It's not even what I think she thinks. For me, I am so empathic energetically. It hits my energy field so quickly. I can feel it. when a client's upset with me, when someone's chewing on my energy field, I feel it. So do I go and start to figure out what I should do, what I should say? Blah, do I go horizontal? No, I go vertical. Because the only way to heal that is to go into me and set my vibration nice and tight so that my frequency is up here. And then I come back into that situation and reset the situation from that new vibration. Not from the vibration of fear, but from the vibration of sovereignty, peace, love, connection. And that's the only way really to change it, is to manifest it from the inside out, to ripple it out rather than for it to come out to in. So if you too are an empath, you're probably picking up the energetics, the entities, the frequencies, the interference, the planetary alignments. And so many people go to so many healers to identify what the specific interference is. It doesn't fucking matter. Is it my daughter? Is it my lineage? Is it my constellation or my human design or my any? It doesn't fucking matter. What matters is I am willing to create sovereignty and connection to myself and hold that whoever I'm with, wherever I go. My I am, that I am. That's what matters. Figuring it out. Where did it come from? Why is it happening? Is this avoidant attachment? Is this blah, blah? It doesn't freaking matter. That is the mind trying to figure out an energy imbalance. So what do? We go back and we fix our energetic imbalance. That's what we do. It doesn't matter why. It doesn't matter where. What you do is less important than where you go within yourself. Because the same actions can be done, one from a place of fear, one from a place of love. They're going to have two totally different results. Even from the place of fear, if you do the right thing, you say the right thing, if it's from the wrong vibration, it will still karmically and energetically create the shit show that you were afraid would happen. Right? So then getting back in the heart, processing through the emotion, getting into our spiritual layer of the body. No mental body is necessary. No amount of understanding is going to fix your vibration or your open energy field or your horizontal receptivity. Going up and in, and then re-entering back into that space from heart consciousness, fifth dimension consciousness, higher consciousness, I am presence, whatever you want to call it. Don't like what's happening with your daughter? Come back into the daughter with a place of deep connection to self. Process through the fear if she's going to end up on the side of the road, death fear, and come back in with love, like true sovereignty and love. True, I'm okay if you're not okay. That's what I mean by sovereignty. I'm okay. I'm safe. I'm connected, even if you're disconnected from me, even if you don't love me, even if you don't feel safe in the moment. I'm okay. That is the only way to feel sovereign or to not take on other people's energy, is to heal that which is imbalanced within ourselves, that is resonating with what's off in their field. As long as we're in resonance with the fear or the abandonment or the neglect, like for example, she was like cutting me off and not wanting to talk to me. And then I was feeling abandoned and unloved, and something in my heart wanted to close. And we were doing this little dance. And this is how it happens all the time. And I was chasing her, FaceTiming her. Are you okay? But really, am I okay? No, I'm not okay. And I need to go get okay if I'm going to raise the vibration of this interaction. Otherwise, we're going to resonate in fear together. Always. So any issue in your life where you feel like you're powerless or victimized or under attack or unloved or disrespected, whatever it is, it all goes back to the vertical line. And we're going to do that right now, because what is talk without practice? Blah, 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 right? So closing your eyes, let's go in. So people are like, I don't have time. It takes like 3 minutes to fortify the vertical line. I'd rather see people doing 3 minutes 6 times a day, integrating this spiritual, deep, energetic connection. Deep breath into your upper belly. So the first thing we need to do is breathe into that vagus nerve. Nice deep breath. Exhale. Long exhale is going to relax the nervous system. I would say 80% of the problem is usually that the nervous system is dysregulated. Once we regulate the nervous system, we can actually connect into the vertical line. Deep breath. Slow exhale. One more breath like that. Release. Now going into the sacred heart, breathing into the space about 2 inches behind the physical heart, into the sacred heart cave. I'm going to drop you in quickly. Breathe in. Drop down into the space behind the physical heart. Step into that heart cave. And have a seat next to the soul flame. Begin to see that soul flame blaze into a bonfire, fanning that fire, that sacred fire. And expand that soul flame to a flame 10 foot tall, above, below you. Engulfing that vertical line. Feel it go straight through your spine as you breathe in. Take that sacred fire up your spine. Lifting up, 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 up. Good, and now exhale all the way down through your tailbone, legs, and feet to the core of the earth. Locking into that core of the earth. Breathing in the Shakti from the earth now, like your feet are embedded into the earth's crust. Breathing in the energy, the grounding elements of the earth. Pulling them up your spine, nourishing the physical body. Good. Now exhale the violet flame through your upper chakras, your upper spine, sending a connection from your heart all the way up to divine source. Locking in. Plugging into the source. Breathing in from above, pulling those light particles in through the crown chakra into the third eye. Pulling the light into the body, and exhale the light into every cell. Push it, push it, push it into every cell. Another breath from above, from the heart. Exhale and push the light now into your energy field. Strong exhale. Go on, exhale it into your field. One more breath like that. Now, when you breathe in, you're pulling from above and below now. Vertical tube of light. Exhale, push it out into your field and seal off the outer edges of your field now. Just feel that. And just notice what the sensation feels like in your body as you sit in that sacred fire, right from the throne at the center of your sacred heart. As your spine leans back into the calm of light. And from this place, think about, like I'll think about my daughter, think about that relationship or that person from here. And just allow the outward ripple of that sacred fire now to move into them. There's a one-way energy flow now from the heart outward. Just feel that ripple outward. And if you will, just open your eyes. I know you want to go, you want to travel dimensionally when we do that, but now is the place where we bleed the inner to the outer, where we feel so connected. That was just 3 minutes. Can you feel your connection to yourself? Can you feel that you're not in your mind trying to figure out the issue anymore? 3 minutes, above, below, leaning back into the calm of light, feeling the light within. Now for my consciousness is, we'll connect in a couple of days. It'll be okay. Completely different thoughts accessible. Pure love accessible from this place. But if we have our meditation practice being this like thing that happens and then we go back into the regular patterns of our lives, then we never bleed this consciousness into our day-to-day. So we're not conscious about what energy we're taking on or who we're inviting into our conscious mind. So if we can do this a few times a day to remember to connect in vertically when we've been so distracted horizontally, that's when we take our power back. And that's when we feel less porous as an empath and more protected and sovereign in our energy field. And so to go back to where I started today, it was, I always hate going live. That's where I started, right? I always hate going live because my field is like nice and sovereign and sealed. And when I broadcast myself beyond this little Zoom of my people that I've been with, I feel like I'm opening up my field. So I have to like seal it up even more solidly on the days that I go to the live and to the group, even though there's just 4 people on live, it doesn't matter. This is more of a closed group, and going live is opening my energy. And I can feel that. So we are feeling so much more, you guys. And if we just go in, we'll start to be able to discern what it is that we're feeling rather than feeling crazy or feeling like we're in resistance to the energy and we don't know where the energy is coming from. And I think that practice is how we take our power back in whatever situation we're in. So that's my hope for you. Many blessings and namaste. Love you.